I don't care if none of you follow me. I don't care if any of you like me. I just want you to have a different perspective of what Kyle Rittenhouse did, what happened, and the reaction to it. I just want to provide context because anybody can spam the mainstream spin or the counter mainstream spin that a lot of these conservatives give you. And I just want to say, regardless of what legally happens, this is being recorded before any verdict has been announced. Regardless of what legally happens, and even though I think what he did was self-defense, it was still a stupid idea and it was still bad judgment. And there should have been people around him. He had no father, no uncle, no auntie, no one to say, hey, Kyle, this is a bad idea. Because you can only do so much at best. And in the worst case scenario, you're going to get yourself hurt or hurt somebody else and have to live with it. The point of this show is to try my best to, as concisely as possible, make my case for why Kyle Rittenhouse is neither hero nor villain. I already see Maya Brown say he's a hero. He killed a kid diddler. And I have no remorse for that kid diddler, by the way. Fuck him.
Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
I have no remorse for that motherfucker. But I got to present something to you guys. And it's not to demonize Kyle Rittenhouse either. I'm trying to do neither. I'm trying to contextualize them and make sure you remember that we are our people. I got to show you guys the scene of what happened. I think the biggest misnomer is everyone else out there was there to burn shit. And that I will prove unequivocally with footage, no less, that is not true. You know what? Let's start with the video I talked about. So all disclosure, because we're not here to fake the fun. I pay a little bit of money to YouTube. As initially they wasn't pushing the video, but they did. A lot of people normally don't see my content, got to check me out and hate me. And you know something? I called it the white OJ. This is the little vidIQ thing. Hopefully it doesn't show any docs and stuff. And so anyone who was mad on that, I know what I did. I deserve the heat for that. So I'm going to go through some of the comments and then talk about them. So from Stovepipe Down to, he says, Kyle Rittenhouse is a hero. Here's why. He took the initiative. He had courage and made the conscious decision to go out there. He spent that day trying to do good, trying to clean up the graffiti, trying to help injured people, trying to help put out fires, trying to protect property. More people should have done the same thing. More people of goodwill should have armed themselves for protection and gone into the storm of rioting thugs to try to help. And all you can say is, I don't think he should have been there. Why? Because you know you would have been too much of a coward. This guy calls me a coward because I didn't do what he wants to do. Coward to face the same danger he did. You would have sat home and thought yourself wise and virtuous for doing nothing to help. So let's see, what did Kyle help? What did he prevent? This is a video of a guy driving around Kenosha. I want you guys to point out to me what he saved. I saw the videos of him putting out fires again. That's what got him in the incident in the first place. They would start fires. He was going out to put out fires. Let's see what the net gain that your Batman did. You see this? He says you can smell the smoke if you can't hear him. This is right after your hero. He saved people, right? He caused the impact on what they did. He helped stop them. That's why he risked his life. That's why he destroyed all of his life. This is why. He's talking about how, hey, this is our neighborhoods that got smashed up. These are black and brown neighborhoods that got smashed up because the people who did the rioting were never from the city they were rioting in. So do you see all this damaged material? It looks like a building blew up and there's some on the other side of the road that you can kind of see, boarded up houses, boarded up shit. So the city still got burnt down. Businesses still got burnt down. And actually, you know, there's a point in the comments that I did want to talk to my man, motherfucking High B. What did he say? So he says, let's say you're just trying to go about your life and 5 guys that you never met show up and burn down your place of work. Now your life has changed and nothing that they had anything to do with you. They're just standing around looking around while they're chanting BLM and you were just going about your life, not paying attention, being a victim. This is what him saying to me of why Kyle's, again, is a hero. And he says, let's assume this young man named Kyle Rittenhouse paid attention, showed up with a shotgun, and the people who are trying to burn your building get shot. So now your building is burned down. False premise. We saw that Kenosha still got burned down and in fact may still get burned down. So he didn't stop the burning down. He didn't solve any problem. The damage he took to his own life solved no problems. I want to establish that, like unequivocally, no problems got solved by his action. So his thought experiment, this guy, Kyle Rittenhouse, a 17-year-old, is supposed to protect me. I'm supposed to, as a grown-ass man, supposed to depend on a 17-year-old to protect me. If I own a business and I'm not the one protecting it, in a business that I own, then I deserve to lose it. Where were the people who actually own some of those businesses? I got a better question for you cuck servitors, and I hate to call you people cuck servitors because it's really your politicians that claim to represent you that are the cuck servitors. But you were the guys with the thin blue line stickers. Back the blue. The blue never backed you. The blue will be there to take your guns to serve what's those called? Those warrants. Red something warrants where they could just come in, smash up your shit because you're a gun owner, and now they got this extremist list. So enjoy that from your blue. Red flag laws, Michael Hickson. That's the word. Thank you, brother. How come nobody ever said, not one conservative leader, they were too busy selling you Sherry's berries and my Patriot Supply. Nobody said, hey, we're supporting the police. Why don't we back them into a corner? Yes, they're getting political pressure from the left. Well, why was there no political pressure on the right to get the police to do the job that their taxpayer dollars are supposed to pay for them? Instead, they're handing out waters so Kyle can do their job with no authority as a 17-year-old. And if he wasn't a good shot, he would have hurt somebody. And I got to point this out. This is the next point. Everyone wants to take the evilness of some of the motherfuckers he hit. And the one guy, the Rosenbaum guy, he deserved to die. He deserved to burn in hell. He's a child dealer. Fuck him.
Get what you fucking deserve.
But I got to break down to you. And we're going to take him back. Ooh, take you back. A year plus ago, a skinnier, more young and innocent vigilante. We're going to take you back there. So let's show that. Here I am in the top corner, not even knowing what the fuck I'm getting into. Let me show you this guy. You see this motherfucker here? There's a guy in with a stop sign and like a helmet and like a skirt or something. There were assholes like this out there, LARPing. And I want to go to another place in this old video that I did. I want you guys to remember this motherfucker. I don't know if you remember this shit or not. So that exchange, if you guys remember, was an exchange at a Papa John's in Kenosha where somebody smashed out this guy's window. I think he's the owner or manager. He says, I got fucking kids to feed. You guys trying to get Trump elected. We know that didn't happen. Enough cans of worms. We'll cover that another day, I'm sure. I wanted you to realize there was a girl out there that legitimately thought she was peacefully protesting for racial justice. She said those people don't represent our movement, completely oblivious to the fact that version of BLM, that was the goal, was destruction. That was the goal, was intimidation. That's still the goal, as you can see, with a lot of shit that's going on to this day. But she didn't know that. And I think it's very easy to take the most negative version of what you see and use that as the straw man and extrapolate that that's what all the opposition or all those don't agree with you. And I may be being extreme, and I apologize if I am, but I do think there's too much thinking like, well, everyone out there, they were just out there for no good. No. Let me actually provide a little bit more evidence. This is, again, Reg's Life video, 5+ hour stream. There are people around. There are locals. There are people like Reg's Life who are going there to document it. And this guy has a lot of different, he's at a lot of different places. He's doing the citizen journalist thing. You want to support him, you might want to because he's been there. But there are people just wandering around. There are people obviously smashing shit up, doing fucked up things. And you see that, but you see a lot of people just wandering around. My point is there were other people that were on no side that were there. And I don't think they should have been there, just like I don't think the BLM members should have been there, just like I don't think anyone should have been there. I don't think anyone should have been there. I wish the shit didn't happen. But it did. And there were people there that weren't evil commies, that weren't felons, that weren't rapists, that were just normies, some that had no fucking clue why they were there. They were there to be seen. They were there because they thought they were doing the right thing. They had good intentions. We'll see how this good intentions thing works out. That's why they were there. So if Kyle Rittenhouse doesn't have super aim, and one of those bullets should hit the same innocent girl who legitimately, even when they're smashing up Papa John's, thinks that she's there for racial justice because she's only been on Earth 16, 17 years. She doesn't know. She just doesn't fucking know. Everybody on the opposite side is not the opposite person. That's the point I was trying to make. Hey, the division, watch out for the division. And you're thinking, what? I can't go with an Antifa member. I'm not talking about an Antifa member. I don't give a fuck about the Antifa, the BLM, the hardcores. They're lost. Fuck them. I'm talking about the 300+ million or however many million that don't count as anything. Those are the motherfuckers, and some of them may have point of views that you don't agree with. Those are the motherfuckers you need to start making peace with.
Nobody's civil anymore. Nobody thinks what it's like to be the other guy.
And this may be a little too woo-woo, But as far as I see it, there's fucking 1,000 people trying to turn 9 billion into 500 million. And I got that number for some Guidestones a couple hundred miles away because I'm in the Carolinas and the Georgia Guidestones. I don't know if the shit's fake or not, but I definitely know that they're trying to divide us on every fucking line, be it racial, be it gender, be it sexuality, be it political. Every fucking line they can. Meanwhile, the same motherfuckers you all vote for voted to build back better while this shit is happening. While the biggest story on earth, you got this distraction story. These motherfuckers vote to build back better. And you think you're going to vote them out during the midterms? Fuck that. That's not going to happen. And even if it does, it doesn't fucking matter because those people don't represent you. If I don't teach you shit, don't worship shit in the flesh. And don't look for someone else to do what you need to do. The police got off scot-free while Kyle Rittenhouse, his life will never be the same regardless of what happened. Never be the same. All right, so I'm gonna see what you guys got to say. Here we go. Since your dildo gets me, kid fucked up his life for what? City still burned. Where were the adults? You had the police again not doing their job, handing out water. People saying this is here are same people as saying January 6th was a good idea. They are. Main reason I feel passionate to do this, I'm old enough to be this kid's dad. And I don't say this often because I'm just another asshole on the internet. But like I feel like I'm the only one with this opinion. I'm not talking legally. I'm not saying what he did wasn't self-defense. I'm saying what he did was a bad idea. It wasn't smart. And it shouldn't be encouraged because he has to bear the brunt for what everybody else told him. Oh yeah, rah rah. Is Black Rifle Coffee or any other conservative motherfucker, are they going to be there when he has PTSD? Who's going to be there for him? All the people that are chastising me for saying he's not a hero. I didn't say he was a villain either. I didn't say those motherfuckers, especially the rapists, didn't get some karma. I didn't say that. I said what he did was stupid. Yes, there were innocent people there. There absolutely were. There were people who genuinely thought they were peacefully protesting for racial justice and were just as shocked as you were to see the violence. Why? Because they watched mainstream news and didn't know no better. But it still feels like there's no adult looking out for him as a person or thinking about him as a person. They look at him as a political ideal. While this was happening, they were building back better. Stop living your fucking ideals and think about what actually happened. What's the net sum gain? Self-defense, okay. Good idea? Hero? You fucking crazy? There's a reason no one else did it. Because it shouldn't do it. Let me give you a story. Old story about a younger vigilante. I was around 17. I think it was 17. I don't know if you can see it. I don't want to reveal my face too much. I have a mark here. I got jumped when I was 17, right after I graduated high school. And I had a hat. Looked very similar to this, except this one's a snapback. It was a fitted. I lost it in the process of getting jumped. Got fucked up. Even my teeth kind of got messed up. There's like a hole in the inside of my mouth that healed over, but it still feels weird. Got stumped out. Sucks, right? So those motherfuckers, I lost this style hat, Detroit Pistons. You know, I love my Pistons. Those motherfuckers show up the next day or the next week. It was one guy with my hat on and like 20 to 30 dudes outside my house. Fucking with me. I'm inside the house. My mom had already just went and she just called police off rip and they said, listen, the police ain't going to come unless there's a confrontation. Said they got my hat. And she said, well, you can go out there and ask for it. I'm like, they're fucking me up. I said, well, you could ask nicely. I'm like, well, then they laugh at me. He said, well, those are your choices. You can go out there, either get laughed at, get your ass whooped. She didn't say it like that. Maybe she did. Mom Vigilante was raw. Or you can stay inside. It's up to you. I stayed inside. Didn't want to, but that's what she been saying. What the fuck are you going to do? It's like 20 motherfuckers. The hat's gone. You got to deal with it. It sucks, but you're one guy. It's 20 motherfuckers. What are you going to do? It sucks, but I had an adult to tell me there's nothing you can do. Got to learn when you pick your battles. Hell, there may be times where we do have to be out in the street with the AR across us. Let's hope it doesn't get to that. Let's try to stop it from getting to that. But you got to know when you pick your battles. And I think people are just, the spirit of it sounds nice. He was going there to help people. Maybe, but who did he help? While this case is getting trumped up, no pun intended, while this case is becoming the new OJ case, it's something to divide people, but instead of racial, they're choosing political lines. They're building the people you elected. Those are by their names. They're supposed to be so much better than the D. They voted to build back better. They voted to build back better. And they voted for socialism. Remember that. Remember why you were being distracted by this. That's what they were doing. Before you think, oh, we're going to vote them out in the midterms in 2024. That shit doesn't matter anymore. The system is broken, bro. It's broken. This is no longer a republic. This is no longer any of that. This is a plutocratic dictatorship. Some people have other terms, oligarchy, whatever you want to call it. There are people who can just make up the rules as they go, and there's nothing in place to stop them. I want you to stop believing in the system. I want everybody to stop. So are your Second Amendment rights on trial? Technically. But the system is so far gone, we're witnessing the fall of Rome regardless. And they're the same people that believe. I don't want to go too far with my orange man conspiracy theory. Since your dildo knows that I'm not I don't trust them. I think, think it's a controlled opposition situation. That's too much. I know that's too deep for a lot of people. I don't even want to go there. Well, that's another can of worms for another day. Stery's mom lived about a dozen miles away. Less of an issue for that night. To be fair, I get their anger. I just think people need to be smarter with how to handle the situation. Yeah, listen, you have a right to be angry that we have a situation. I'm not even gonna call it the left. Let's call it the globalists, because they are literally funding this. Like, I'll just fucking say it. Fuck it. George Soros is literally funding this. It's not me, making shit up. That's the globalists are funding this. That's fact. Those are facts. So the globalists can literally use a gang to politically attack people. And they have a media to back them. And they have anyone who knows this in opposition to other people. This may sound crazy and far off to a lot of y'all, but the blue-haired leftist with all sorts of rainbow piercings and pronouns, don't you know she's closer to you than Ted Cruz is, than any of the ideologues you love? Because this is not right versus left. That's the biggest misnomer. It's not black versus white. It's not conservative versus liberal. It is about 1,000 people or so who run the world trying to turn 9 billion people to 500 million people. That's what their guys don't say. Again, I know that's off the page for somebody. It's a couple hundred miles away from me. There's a fucking Guidestone system that says this shit.
The goals are written in 8 different languages, and there are 10 principles etched in granite stone. Maintain humanity under 500,000 in perpetual balance with nature.
And even if that's not what it is, and I'm far off, and I'm Alex Jones for you, fine. At least know that they're trying to divide people by every fucking line they can. At least check out what the World Economic Forum is doing. At least check out the shit that can be verified and see that this is way deeper than every bit of division that you're getting. That's why I'm doing this video. That's why I'm going to put a little bit of money to promote it so people can see it, so people can get at least some perspective of what's really going on, and the fact that, hey, Kyle Rittenhouse is neither hero nor villain. He's just a guy who didn't have any parental figure or any adult to be an adult and say, hey, I know how you feel, kid. You got to know when to hold them, and you got to know when to fold them. Go home. You're trying to be a police officer. You want to do good. Go home. Go be a cadet. Go be a police officer. And then when you're a cop, you do differently than the bitch ass cops that were only there to hand out waters. That's all you can do. You can't do shit here. But there was no adult to say that then, and there's still no adult to say that now. Since I got to say it, since it's me, I'll do it just for the hope that somebody can think, you know what? Yeah, I think it was self-defense. Yeah, I'm glad some of these pieces of shit got it. But there were other people who had nothing. They were just out there to be out there. They could have got hurt. And he didn't really have, that really wasn't a good idea. That's all I want to provide. So if I lost people, I get it. I got some far out stuff. If you don't want to go too far with me, that's fine. At least understand the stuff that's provable, that there's something deeper than right versus left. At the end of the day, this Kyle Rittenhouse thing is a massive distraction. Thank you for watching the clip from my podcast. Link to the entire show is in the description. If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do so. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. God bless.